Hey everyone, Henjo555 here today, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a full comparison and review of the Nintendo DS Lite versus the Nintendo DSi. Now, both systems look very similar. Here's the Nintendo DS Lite on the left and the Nintendo DSi on the right. Now, the Nintendo DS Lite is in Onyx and the Nintendo DSi is in black. I like both colors. I think they're pretty sharp. Anyways, and not to mention the scratches don't show up particularly easily on either system. So anyways, I like both colors and I would recommend the black color. It's pretty cool. Anyways, so the Nintendo DS Lite, this is what it looks like on the outside. Behind it, that's the shell. Nintendo DSi, like that. Okay, so the Nintendo DS Lite has no camera, but the Nintendo DSi does. Now don't get too excited about the camera on the Nintendo DSi because it is very poor quality. It's like 0.3 megapixels, I believe. Either way, it's bad. I don't care, even if I'm wrong about that. It's pretty bad. So I'll go ahead and open both systems up quick. And, I'd like to mention something. Let me go ahead and close the Nintendo DS Lite up quick here. Now, I feel like you have to be very careful when opening the Nintendo DS Lite up, because listen very closely. Hear that? Now, that's a hinge, and it makes a cracking sound. It feels like it's going to break every time I open it. So it doesn't seem like it's made very good. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a lot of wear? I don't know. Anyways, the buttons also feel quite mushy on the Nintendo DS Lite. No camera on the hinge. Camera on the hinge on the Nintendo DSi. Buttons do feel a bit more refined on the Nintendo DSi. Start selects in the same spot, here, power buttons here for the Nintendo DSi, inside the shell, power buttons on the side, it's a little flip switch there on the Nintendo DS Lite. Okay, so anyways, the speakers, little 6 dots each side, it's more refined, more sleek on the Nintendo DSi, just a little hole there. And also the power, if I just flip this on, it would show a green light there, or red, depending on how your battery is. And it's more, it's got the wireless, if it's, connecting wirelessly, if it needs to be charged, and if it, needs power, here on the Nintendo DSi. Okay, so anyways, that's the exterior. And now moving on to powering on the systems. So once again, there's a little slide, you just slide it on the right of the Nintendo DS Lite, and it goes on. The Nintendo DSi needs a button. Now this is the lowest brightness settings. Now, you could probably tell just by a little bit the Nintendo DSi once again is larger. This in terms of screen size. And actually it is wider as well. So there you go. But the camera on the Nintendo DSi is very poor, so do not buy this if you plan on purchasing the Nintendo DSi just for the camera. Buy the system for the games, not the camera. And, there's a mic on the Nintendo DS Lite. The mic for the Nintendo DSi is a bit smaller, it's just a little hole there. So, yeah. Alright, so let me close both systems up. And, there's also a camera on the outside. Now moving on to the styli. The Nintendo DS Lite stylus is just a little bit smaller, as you can see, than Nintendo DSi. The Nintendo DS Lite is on the left, the Nintendo DSi is on the right. Alright, so, they're both the same color because, they're both the same shade of black, so... Anyways, they're both decent size styli. The one on the right is bigger than Nintendo DSi. It doesn't really make a big difference. It could be a good or a bad thing. I guess it depends on how big your hands are. But, so that's the comparison of the Anyways, I thought I should show you guys the chargers as well. The Nintendo DS Lite charger on the left, the Nintendo DSi on the right. This is the charging bit for the Nintendo DS Lite. And this is the one for the Nintendo DSi. It is a little bit different. But the point is that they will not work with each other. The Nintendo DS Lite charger will not work with the Nintendo DSi, will not charge the system, and vice versa. Finally, after all things said, I believe the Nintendo DS Lite comes out king in this comparison. Now the reason why I say this is because the Nintendo DS Lite has the Game Boy Advance slot, and not to mention the Nintendo DS Lite is about $40 cheaper. $129 versus $169. So the Nintendo DS Lite is a better system because of these two reasons. And if people say, oh, the Nintendo DSi shop, what about that? The Nintendo DSi shop has very poor, iffy content. I mean, there are only a few different things I would download. And, I'd say the prices could be a bit fairer as well. But either way, I believe the Nintendo DS Lite, DSi shop or not, is better. The Nintendo DS Lite does come out king. And I'd just like to thank you guys for watching, and keep stay tuned for more comparisons, and make sure you guys subscribe as well and comment below. Thanks, guys.